And with that, I as well will say goodbye. That was Deus Ex Human Revolution. This was one of the greatest games out there at its time. It tried to reignite a genre that sadly has been, that has not really seen any love ever since. The Deus Ex series always was valued as an extremely hard thief, hacking, spy game. So that's also why I said that towards the end I did not really play the game as it was intended. Like, sure, one of the major factors was that I already knew the story, but the completionist in me always said, like, to hack every PC, explore every route, every room, get all the dialogue choices and stuff. But that's my main problem with heavy story games. Often you cannot experience their story again. Especially when the story is in a certain linear fashion way. Like, I'm not good at describing this, but as I would do it is if a story doesn't really branch out and there are like 3-4 fixed points that cannot change, that is when a story becomes not attractive to me, or will quickly lose the attraction of a replay. So that's also why I'm a bit scared of my next Horizon Zero Dawn Let's Play, because the first one was way too good. You know, I really enjoyed the overworld hunting and all of that, but thinking about it and stuff, it's doing those story choices that do not really impact the story in of itself or the map in of itself. It only decides who stands by your side at the end of the game. And that, I believe, is not meaningful choice, because at the end of the day all it does is, like, you are still supposed to win, you know, have the option to win. Like, the game will not suddenly create an ending that you cannot win just because you don't have allies. Horizon Zero Dawn is not that sort of game. And here it's similar. That at the end I always come to that last boss fight room. I will always have to fight the same boss in the same fashion. And as you even saw, I barely did anything to defeat. Like, I even forgot I had EMP grenades for the robots, so that would have made it really look extremely stupid. But that is a thing. It is good and bad, because the game did a good job in teaching me using the correct tool against the correct enemy. At this point, I want to say that I, as a controller, was more flawed, because, you know, I only used the laser cannon because I forgot that grenades even exist. but at the end of the day, the ways you experience it does not really change depending on playstyle. You know, the hacker way, or stealth way I should rather say, always finds a way around the opponent. And here, like, how are you supposed to deactivate those robots? The room itself is even killing your opponents, so it actually betrays the stealth way extremely hard. So yeah, that last boss fight, at its time it was good. With what I have learned now about gaming, I can see more, I see games different, and that's why I say for now it's bad. And then the end room with the choices, like I said, I'm currently in a grinder mindset, so I will not judge that room too harshly, since I'm not emotionally ready to even attempt that, or even give it. No, not attempt. It's more that I don't want to judge it because my emotional wavelength is missing currently. So that is why I wanna draw myself back there. Nonetheless, it was really nice experiencing this game again. I mean, at the start I really did what I wanted, explored everything I wanted, and it was refreshing, really restraining myself to the non-lethal path. And it's really rewarding to see that even so, I will see all of the options at the end. Even so, in theory, I want the game to be more restrictive that way. You know, that you have like 2 or 3 ways to play a game, and you have, let's say, 5 options at the end, and 2 options will always be restrained to the way you played the game. Like, for example, if you played a good character, you do not get to nuke the world, you know? And if you played an evil character, you don't get the decision to save everyone, because, you know, the game, you defined yourself through the game. It's of course nice to see that you get every end option, but by not having that restriction, I feel kinda robbed at the same time. Because, no, not robbed, devalued at the same time, because I can get all of these 3 endings also when I go haywire and not consider human life. So how much did it matter how I played this game? And that disconnects the ending from the game in my head. But then again, I'm gonna say this again, since I always say this, but the good games get to hear it at the very start. Endings are hard. Yeah, that is a sentence that will stick with me. I got that from the series called Supernatural, and it was a short monologue about how a creator of a story will never be able to satisfy everyone with his story. there will always be someone who is more lenient towards love stories, to action stories, you know, all that good jazz. But then also, if you want to see an action movie, why would you start a love story?
Manage given time.
No?
She's here. I have to cut this short. Keep going through the wreckage. Maybe we'll find something we can use for the Morpheus initiative. Come in. Dr. Reed. We're so pleased you decided to join us.
Where else could I go?
No regrets, my dear. As Ariadne told Theseus before he entered the Minotaur's labyrinth, always forward, never left or right. You'll be very interested in our current project. We're breaking new ground.
Yes, the nanite virus chimera is quite intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing the hybrid project up close, Mr. Page.
And so you shall. But please, call me Bob.
But anyways, the pleasing everyone at the end of a story is always hard, and that was some really weird music suddenly. Okay, yeah, but I think some points of mine are solo problems that will stand or can stand even against other games. And now I've engaged rambling mode, so I'm gonna cut this short. And yeah, let's think about this a little bit. No. Yeah. Anyways, this is still a decent game. I would say for today's standards it holds average, because voice acting is still decent, the gameplay is almost fluent, like that you cannot when two people are at a desk, one is sitting, one is standing, that you cannot double tap down those. It is just bruh, that is not chill. Also, I hate this about every game, but I don't know if it's a thing. I just experienced different, but when I was smaller, way younger, I had the feeling that games would rather would never get you stuck on a twig or a tree. Like the objects were always round, so even if you would walk straight against the wall, you would always glide to the left or the right, depending on how your angle is. And recently, even modern games, I get stuck more than I used to, and I do not really know why that is. Especially since older games have more of a stigma in that way, because, you know, they were rougher in their programming and creation than modern games. So that you find their ledges, edges, and twigs to get stuck on, it should be more common. But yeah. Oh, that's definitely my biggest grime with this game. But besides that, I think this is still a decent game. So, I wish you a good day, good night, and see you around.